Is it anxiety or is it ADHD? There's overlap, there's things that are similar, and there's definitely things that are very separate, but they can look the same. So how do you know? How do you know what you are trying to help your child with moving forward? So today we're talking about ADHD and anxiety. I want to go through a list of things for you to be considering, to be looking at when you need help raising your child and trying to figure out, well, is this more of an anxiety thing or is this an actual ADHD thing, okay? And it can absolutely be both. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is when your child has difficulty concentrating. For ADHD, this is attention is shifting between one thing to another thing. There's so much information that the mind is bouncing back and forth. Anxiety is actually worry and racing thoughts that make it harder to focus. And so they both look like, hey, I'm having a hard time focusing. One is that the brain is bouncing around. The other one is that it's heavy and it is having a hard time being able to just get the gumption, racing thoughts, exclude all other thoughts rather than bouncing around. Number two, restlessness, okay? ADHD. Now, I have ADHD, which is funny because I've been working as a therapist for years and years and years and years. And I had been so outwardly focused that I did not realize that I had these same symptoms. I have ADHD myself, but this restlessness is a real thing. Sitting down for a movie? Are you kidding? Yeah, I can do a book if I'm really engaged in it, but I can put it down at any moment. And I know other people have to finish to the end of the chapter, or they got to find a place in a breaking spot. No, not me. I can just put it down. I'm going to get up. I'm going to grab snacks. I'm going to grab water. I'm going to go to the bathroom. It is so hard for me to just go to the movie theater and sit down through a movie. Anxiety, they might be restless too. Your child might be, but it's very different. This physical tension, this inability to relax. With ADHD, I can relax. I don't necessarily want to because there's so many things that I want to be doing and I want to be jumping around and going and doing things versus anxiety. It's a tension. It's a tension inside. But both of them can look like being on edge. They can both look like fidgeting. They can both present as pacing. And so you as a parent, of course, are having a hard time figuring out what is what and which is which. Racing thoughts with ADHD, man, jumping. Anxiety is spiraling around fears. It's fear-based and it's future things coming up based. I'm so worried about this thing in the future that I can't let it go. And therefore, my thoughts are racing around that versus ADHD, which is like all over the place, okay? And both are hard to quiet. They both appear very busy. Procrastination, this is just putting it off. I don't feel like doing it right now for ADHD. There's so many other things that I want to do. I'm going to sit down to do it, but then I get so distracted by things that are more excitable and more engaging for me, for my quick changing mind. And you can see this in your children. Anxiety, it is the feeling of overwhelm. And you can have this with ADHD because starting new activities can feel very overwhelming. That doesn't mean that it is just anxiety. Of course, you can have both. Sleep problems with ADHD, I can't shut my brain off. There's so many things going on. Okay, or I wake up and then my brain starts racing. So then I can't go back to sleep. So I get a good 4 hours of sleep. I can shut it down at the end of the day if I wear myself out. But when I wake up, I'm awake. My brain is going and I cannot shut it down. Anxiety is that the worry interferes with falling asleep. I'm so focused on the worry and these future things that are fear-based that I cannot fall back asleep or stay asleep. And then both look like exhaustion and poor quality sleep, waking up, tossing, turning, rolling around the whole time. Emotional overwhelm. Now, something with ADHD that I want to chat about is reactive sensitivity dysphoria, which is an intense, incredible feeling of negativity when there's criticism involved, which includes from family members or loved ones, as well as other people, especially if they're in some sort of position of power. For me, this is a no-brainer. Yeah, church leaders growing up, if I thought that they said something negative or I perceived that they said something negative, oh my gosh, I am a terrible person and it's just going to drag me down. I'm going to feel terrible. These emotions are huge. Or especially if I'm told by a loved one, hey, this problem, I'm going to take it very, very personally and carry that weight. Versus anxiety is just this persistent worry and heightened stress response. But when you have ADHD, there is an intensity to the emotions, which are fantastic when they're positive emotions. There's an incredible intensity to the positive emotions, but also very strong sensitivity to negative emotions. This is one of the superpowers of ADHD, is allowing that to grow into incredible empathy, to be able to relate to other people, but it does mean that your heart is open to hurt very, very easily. But both of these can feel like you're being flooded by everyday emotional situations. Forgetfulness and mental blanking, ADHD, it's working memory problems. Sometimes you're just going along and they're just like, I got nothing. I don't know what I was doing. Here it is. It's just a challenge. Or anxiety is stress interfering with memory and retrieval, forgetting appointments, names, what you walked into a room to do. Both of these can come from ADHD or anxiety. And then this last one is feeling like too much. And this is so painful for ADHD because you feel it, that rejective sensitivity is for you. You feel it so deeply and intensely that you can get overstimulated by the emotions. And then that really shuts down and it can be incredibly painful. Anxiety is that hypervigilance. I'm looking for the bad. I'm looking for the negative. In the end, if you are considering both of these, ADHD and anxiety, I would say the biggest thing for you to consider as a parent looking at your child is that ADHD is bouncing around in all sorts of different directions, okay? It's big emotions, it's big distractions, it's looking for more intense stimulation, feeling more intense stimulation, versus anxiety, which is focused towards future fears, and everything is fear-based. And then when you pull back and look at the behavior, yeah, they look very similar in very many ways, but the reasons behind them are so different. If you need help in distinguishing these two things, all you have to do is send a message. Let's set up a quick 10, 15-minute clarity call for you to be able to move forward as a parent and understand your child better so that there's success in your home.